Paul, we'll start with a health check, if you don't mind, because you appear to pick up a couple more injuries on Tuesday night. Who's in, who's out? What updates do you have ahead of the weekend?
There's no chance I foresee Kane and Dej. Both got hamstring injuries, both sore, both awaiting results on their scans, so that I'd be amazed if one or either make it. So those two, excuse me, will be missing. I don't think I've got any other injuries, but I'll find out in the next 20 minutes.
We've heard good news about Ryan Amby, David Ozo recently. Are either of them close to being involved?
Yeah, I think both are very close to be included in the squad this weekend. So that's really positive. We'll see how they train today. The early signs are really good.
I wanted to check on sort of the energy levels generally, because it was a massive effort on Tuesday night, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, and unfortunately, because I didn't think the lads got the elusive goal that their play, especially in the second half, deserved. The energy levels, and I'm being honest, maybe I'm too honest in my interviews, but physically, I think they'll be okay. Psychologically, they're going to need a bit of TLC, I think, because they're obviously on the run of bad results, and you don't want to start thinking that, there's a destiny or something crazy. You need to snap out of it. So we've got some really good stuff to show them today. We've got some stuff where I think we could have been a bit braver in the first 25 minutes, but I also, given it some more thought after a couple of sleeps, that I do understand the lads is, it's not very good English, but the lads' unintentional, possibly, mentality to thinking, we've got a different back three, we don't normally play with a three, especially not them three, although I thought they were excellent. They looked the calmest cucumbers in the house, really. So I just thought going forward we weren't as aggressive as I would like. So there is some energy levels, but it's always the way on a Thursday. It always starts like this, and then by the close of play today, they'll all be back to fighting fit, and then they'll look forward to seeing what the team is tomorrow, and then the challenge ahead. And that's how you've just got to see it. You just got to try and forget. In the same way, if you've won 6 on the spin, you can't go into the 7th game thinking you've got it cracked and high-fiving everybody on the way in because you're going to win this 3-0. Football's never like that. So you just have to not forget form. I don't mean it like that, but you just have to re-engage to the game when the whistle goes.
I know we talked about it a little bit after the game. How pleased were you to get Lars Jørgen Salvesen out there for the first time?
Yeah, really pleased. Really pleased, and obviously, got to compete with Jerry, and but it's something different, and that's what I've been going on about, in many an interview. I do love a big 9. I've always had big 9s in my career as a player and as a coach. So I do see what they bring, and different players bring different things. I just think that, if you start with a Lars and you bring on a Jerry, for the defenders it's difficult. If you start with a Jerry, bring on a Lars, or if you play them both together, ideal. But I just think he brings, I don't know, I didn't explain possibly brilliantly why I brought him to the club, but one of the main reasons is he has a really good aerial threat, not only from crosses but also from open play, and that. He's very mobile, so he wants to get in behind the line, which again I like players that can stretch the line, and then it enables, if you always play in front of teams, I think you're easy to play against. So he has that. He has an energy to want to press all the time, which we're going to have to try and coach a little bit, because sometimes he's just going to go on his own, a bit like Jerry did initially, and then there's no one with him, so you have to get people around him. So yeah, I was really pleased with him, and I was really pleased for him because even more so as a striker, I think, when you come into a team or to a new club, there's a real expectation and excitement. If the first 3 or 4 games you're flat, which could have been because he hasn't trained a lot, in fairness, the fans make an opinion, as everyone does, and think, I'm not too sure. I'd like to think everyone who watched him and thought, wow, he's an exciting prospect, and the team were more exciting when he came onto the pitch. That, and I thought obviously Corey was really good as well. And between the two, you know, changed the game from being a close game to a game where I thought we were in the ascendancy.
We know the run of form that you're on. We've talked about that. The two teams that you've played already this week, I think, are both in the top 8. I think, in fact, everyone you've played over this recent run have been in the top 10 or so. Is it actually games like Saturday, the game coming up against Cardiff, that will really define your season, though?
I mean, it's a big question, isn't it? And it's a true question. I understand that, and I don't want to say, oh, it's like a 28-pointer. You know, everyone goes a 6-pointer, then a 9-pointer, and then a 12-pointer. But you're right. I do honestly think, though, there isn't a great deal between any of the teams. I don't feel like I've got massive respect for Sunderland, and I don't think that they were significantly better than us. You do have to beat the teams in and around you. That is obvious. I do agree with that. But I do think what I'm trying to say is, I don't think it's easier or harder opposition than a Sunderland or a Watford away or whatever the case may be. It's just a different opposition, and they will see this game as a game that they will pen down as a wanting home win as well. So I think it will be two teams not desperate for a win, but needing of a win and wanting of a win. And both teams have got, you know, new players in their squad. So it will make it an interesting game. But it is a game that obviously that we have earmarked to, you know, we want to come away with 3 points. But then we have with every game in the last 6. So it is an important game, and we have played top teams, and I think we have competed really well in large parts of it. But I've said this a few times now that we, you know, it's the 95 minutes, and unfortunately for us the other night, we didn't perform at our best for 95.
Good luck Saturday.
Thanks, mate.